Innovating Education Learning World in association with WISE, an initiative of Qatar Foundation.
In conflict zones, education, like much of everyday life, can be a risky business. Across the world, tens of millions of young people miss out on or have limited schooling because of war. But some are so desperate to escape their circumstances, they're willing to put their lives on the line to get an education. Afghan student Jawad is among them, and it's his story we hear about first in this edition of Learning World.
Logar province is an hour's drive away from Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan. Here, neither the Afghan government nor the Taliban rebels are fully in control. In this secondary school for boys, Jawad knows that in order to become a doctor or an engineer, he has to steer clear of taking sides in the conflict.
If we cooperate with the government, the insurgents will probably threaten us. But if we support them, we face the dangers of police raids and arrests.
2,700 young men are enrolled in this school, and keeping them safe is a major preoccupation for the head teacher.
This is a place for education, only blackboards and chalks. No one deals with politics here, and thanks to that, neither the teachers nor the students have been forbidden to go to the school.
Classes finish at midday, and Jawad goes to work with his father in the family's shop. The family income is around €35 a month.
Sometimes there are incidents, but not every day. It's not regular, and even if there is a threat, the boys have to go to school, be educated for a better future.
Jawad and his 6 brothers and sisters have to stay close to their home and their school, because in areas like this, life is precarious. A head teacher from a nearby school was recently shot dead, and education workers are often under pressure to take sides in the conflict.
I've told the American officer that we've continued our education program despite many challenges so far. They shouldn't come to the schools. It just makes things worse for us.
According to UNESCO, 11 million people in Afghanistan are illiterate.
While education can be a casualty of war, paradoxically, it's often an important tool in resolving conflict. And that's the idea behind Save the Children's Rewrite the Future initiative. We spoke to its head, Tove Wang.
Since 2005, Save the Children's Rewrite the Future project has improved educational opportunities for 10.6 million children affected by conflict and emergencies.
Today we have 28 million children in conflict areas not going to school. And I sort of many times think it's a multiple injustice. First, they experience violence, and they are exposed to traumas. They have not access to health, and they are not able to go to school. I mean, these days, conflicts last for years and often decades. So children are losing out over a long period of time. So it's important that we maintain education even through conflicts. And if education is done right in conflict areas, it also protects children from violence and sexual assaults. Save the Children has worked for the last 5 years in 20 countries that has been affected by conflict. You have to invest. It doesn't have to be bright and expensive schools, but you have to invest in teachers, in paying teachers' salaries. And you have to work very closely with the local communities in order for them to engage and take ownership to the school and education. We have to think of different approaches to school. We have a good example from Afghanistan. It's a sort of condensed curriculum, and it's intensive learning. And you have to pick out in the curriculum what is really relevant for the girls to learn. You might have an 18-year-old who hasn't gone to school and has to start from, for grade 1 curriculum, and then you have to allow that. If, again, done right, education is a prerequisite for democracy. And it could be a tool to conflict resolution. And the mere fact that you have access to education will reduce tension.
Medellin, the Colombian city, used to be the epicenter of the global cocaine trade and a very dangerous place. In the war between the government and the drugs cartels, civilians were caught in the crossfire. Educators saw that children needed to be shielded from the violence and given a way out. Here's what they come up with.
Armed conflict, enforced displacements, poverty and wars between drug cartels make it hard to provide education here. But a project called Crezcamos con Derechos aims to protect school-aged children.
When we researched the effects of war on children, we realized that the main effect was to make it impossible for them to go to school. Among the human rights they'd lost was the right to get an education.
26% of children in this area don't go to school because they feel that the journey is too dangerous.
In this area there's a lot of violence, making it difficult to get from one place to another. We're afraid to move. We just stay home because we're afraid of getting hurt. For example, we're afraid of meeting this person or that one, so we stay close to home so as not to get killed. If you move out of your home area, they'll kill you.
Teenagers between the ages of 13 and 16 need the most support because they are the most likely to drop out of school.
We have teaching specialists and an arts workshop to try and engage them. We also rely heavily on teachers of dance, theatre and physical expression. These methods help us to see their future in a better light.
Since the project was set up in 2008, 750 students have passed through the doors, and 70 of them have completed their studies all the way to university entrance level.
Well, that's it for now. Hope you've enjoyed our program. See you again next week.
Learning World in association with WISE, an initiative of Qatar Foundation.